Welcome to the second in the series of webinars on FAAC Group products and solutions. This series will cover a range of products from our group, which includes Magnetic Automation, Vark Simply Automatic, Census and Hub Parking Technology. My name's Greg McNamara and I'm the Entrance Solutions Product Manager. Today I'll be talking about a range of solutions to make entry to your facility as COVID safe as possible. But before I start, there's just a bit of housekeeping. This webinar will run for about 10 minutes plus time at the end to answer any questions you have. Please use the Q&A messaging system on your screen to send through your questions, and I'll get to as many as I can today. Anything I can't answer, I'll respond to you personally as soon as possible. So if I just turn off my camera. So, as we all know, there are a range of protocols in place around the world to reduce the spread of COVID-19 in public areas and workplaces. Although these requirements vary in different jurisdictions, most cover 7 key areas. Firstly, you should regularly clean your hands with an alcohol-based hand sanitizer or wash them with soap and water. You should maintain at least 1 metre distance between yourself and others, or 1.5 metres in Australia. Avoid crowded places. Should avoid touching your face. You should make sure you follow good respiratory hygiene, that is, wear a face mask. You should stay at home and self-isolated, even with minor symptoms such as coughing, headaches, or mild fever. And if you have any of these symptoms, seek medical attention and get tested. So, how do we translate this practically when it comes to pedestrian access? So we've identified 5 ways you can address these protocols. Firstly, ensuring your hands are clean. We're all familiar with hand sanitizer dispensers, which we see at most offices and shops. Ideally, they should be touch-free. You should minimize hand contact points. Special care is needed for high touch points such as handrails and door handles, where the risk of sharing the virus is the highest. You should wear a face mask to reduce the spread of droplets from your mouth and nose, and masks can also reduce the likelihood of inhaling infected airborne particles. Body temperature detection, as elevated body temperature is often a symptom of someone who has caught the COVID-19 virus. Many public buildings and workplaces require your temperature to be taken, usually by someone at the front door with a handheld thermometer. And social distancing, which is often defined for enclosed spaces by the maximum number of people allowed in a room based on a simple formula. For example, 1 person per 4 square metres. Most workplaces which aren't open to the public can control this by managing the number of employees in each area. However, for public spaces such as shops, restaurants, libraries and supermarkets, and even workplace cafeterias, you'll need to manually count in and out of that space. So the challenge for managers of these sites is, how do you ensure that these measures are in place? I'd like to show you an example which we have set up in our Melbourne showroom of how all protocols can be addressed using the one entrance system. Here we are simulating a facility with a single entry and exit point. We want to ensure that everybody who enters has satisfied all safety criteria. In this example, we are using a Magnetic Automation mTrippod turnstile as our method of pedestrian control, a touch-free hand sanitizer dispenser mounted on a post next to the turnstile, a facial recognition camera which has been configured to detect body temperature and to detect if a face mask is being worn. And finally, an FAAC keyed-on network controller for counting people entering and exiting, as well as providing a display. These arrangements could be used in a variety of sites, such as in office buildings, factories, building sites, healthcare facilities, schools and universities, sports facilities and gyms, transport hubs, and retail sites. So I'll just like to show you this video of how it all works. So here we've set the maximum count for this particular room to 5 people. And as you can see, the display starts as green as it counts down and turns amber when there's 3 people or less required. You'll see the hand dispenser, the facial recognition camera, which is detecting whether the people entering have a face mask, and it also detects their body temperature. So as the last person enters, temperature is okay. Now the screen is turned red to say that the facility is full, and it blocks the barrier. So if we get people to exit, you'll see the counter will start counting back up again. So now 2 people are allowed to enter. Now I'm going to try entering without a mask. Take my mask off. And the camera has detected I haven't got a mask on. So I'm now going to put my mask on. I'm going to enter. And it now lets me through. So this is a fairly simple arrangement and could be expanded to include additional input devices such as entrance control cards, site induction cards, breathalyzers, drug tests, etc. This example uses a single turnstile for entrance and exit, but good practice dictates that where possible, entrance and exit should be done at different points to minimize the people coming in contact with each other. This can be achieved with the keydom controller for people counting, which can manage up to 16 doors and barriers. We've used a turnstile for this example, but you could use any form of pedestrian barrier, such as the M-wing barrier I showed in the last webinar. Pedestrian barriers are ideal as they are designed to allow access one person at a time, which means that people counting will be more accurate and prevents multiple people entering under one person's valid access status. You could also mount this turnstile on a mobile platform so it could be moved around your site as required. Although using a pedestrian barrier gives you the greatest control and accuracy, these tools can be used with automatic slide doors and swing doors. With automatic doors though, queue management is really important because you need to ensure that only one person at a time passes through the doorway. So let's have a look at the facial recognition camera. You can see when I first present to the camera, it detects my temperature, but also that I'm not wearing a mask. When I present again with my mask on, I'm asked to look at the camera. And when it detects my mask and that my temperature is below the threshold, I can then pass. You'll notice the green bar at the bottom of the screen. Just some caveats about the thermal camera used in this example. Firstly, it's not an approved medical instrument and should only be used as a guide only for temperature measurement. It needs to be in a room with a constant ambient temperature, and it needs to be out of direct sunlight and wind. So really, it is only suitable for indoor use. So let's have a look closer at the people counting screens. The green screen shows when there is still space available to enter. In this case, 4 places available as one person has entered. The screen turns amber when there's 3 or less places available. And of course, a red screen shows when the maximum occupancy is reached. Of course, not everyone has a space or resources to use a pedestrian barrier. If your goal is to only manage people numbers, there are other options. If you have a site with a single FAAC slide or swing door, you can use a counting system built into the door operator to provide a red, amber, green traffic light system in a solution we call SafeFlow 1. If you have a site with multiple entry and exit points with FAAC doors or magnetic barriers, keydom can be used as a controller in our SafeFlow 2 solution. Or if you have an open entry and exit points, you can use sensors which don't require pedestrian barriers or auto doors. These sensors, such as FAAC's XSF sensor, are designed specifically for people counting, which can be incorporated with the keyed-on controller and display. And this is the SafeFlow 4 solution. And although it wasn't covered in this demonstration, making your location as touch-free as possible is paramount. A problem with all conventional swing doors is that they require you to touch the door handle to push open. Fortunately, most swing doors can be automated using, for example, the A951 door operator. These doors can be activated via a radar presence detector like used on auto slide doors, or you can use a contactless button like these FAAC touch-free buttons you can see on the screen. But keep in mind that all sites are different, so a customized solution is likely required. We can customize a solution to meet your requirements. So that brings me to the end of this presentation. I'd like to thank you for your time, and I hope you've gained something from it. If you have any questions you'd like to ask, please send them via the Q&A text field, and I'll answer them now if I can. If you have any queries, you can contact me via my email, which you can see on the screen now, or you can contact your local FAAC or Magnetic Automation office. You can also find information on the Magnetic Automation and FAAC websites. Thanks again, and have a good day.